Hello, today we're going to make 3 Aguas de Sabor. What are Aguas de Sabor? Those are the Kool-Aid type drinks that you get served at people's houses here in Mexico, but they are made with real fruit. So today we're going to make Agua de Limón, Agua de Tamarindo, and Agua de Jamaica. Please remember, this is not the only way to make each type of Agua de Sabor, but it's the way I'm going to show you because it's the way I do it. So if you've ever wondered, how do you make Agua de Limón or limeade, Agua de Tamarindo or Agua de Jamaica or hibiscus iced tea, today you're going to find out. So now we're going to make Agua de Limón or limeade. You're going to need about 8 limes, a 2-liter pitcher, a thin colander, which could be optional, cutting board and a knife, a lime squeezer, and a tablespoon. First, we're going to wash our limes. To wash your limes, you can either soak them in disinfectant solution, or you can wash them real well with your dish sponge and dish soap, which is my preferred method to wash my limes. I have 8 limes here that I'm going to use. I won't wash them all on camera, so you don't get too bored with me. Now that the limes are all washed, we're gonna cut them all in half, so they look like this. To squeeze your limes, you're gonna take your citrus squeezer. This is specifically lime size, as you'll see. You take your lime and put it face down, well, so the inside is down, and hold it like this, and you'll squeeze down on it like this. I like to use the thin colander because sometimes seeds will come out, and then I can just toss them away if they come out into the colander. Now, once you've squeezed all your limes, you're gonna get all the juice from the colander into the pitcher. And we're gonna take our sugar. And I use 1 tablespoon, about like that, per lime. I've used 8 limes, so I'm gonna do 8 tablespoons. I know that seems like a lot of a lot of sugar, but Agua de Sabor has a lot of sugar in it. So I've got my 8 tablespoons of sugar. I'm gonna mix that around and pour fresh water into it. Drinking water, I should say, and fill that up to the 2-liter mark. If you don't have a pitcher that has the mixer on it like I do, you can take a long spoon and mix that up, but it definitely needs to be mixed up well. And now you have your Agua de Limón. It's ready to go in the fridge or be served over ice for a nice refreshing drink. Okay, so now we're gonna make Agua de Tamarindo. Tamarindo is a pod-like fruit. I guess it's a fruit. And this is a very popular Agua de Sabor in Mexico. You crack open, it's very easy to crack with your fingers, crack open the pod and pull the shell off of it. You might get these strings coming off too. Go ahead and pull those off if they are coming off already, because we're gonna discard those. I'm gonna use probably about 6 pods for my 2-liter jug of water, Agua de Sabor water. So once you've got all of the shell off of your tamarindo, it's gonna be kind of squishy with seeds in the middle like this. And we're gonna put 6 of those. Actually, I think I'm gonna do 7. I'll put those in the pot. And once I'm done cracking all 7 of my tamarindos, I'll come back. Now that I have all my pods peeled and in the pot, I'm gonna add water. You want to add, I would say, at least a liter of water. As with most Mexican foods, we're going to eyeball this. Set it on the oven to boil. And I like to add my sugar as I'm boiling it. I feel like it mixes the sugar in better with the tamarindos. I'm gonna put in a 1/4 cup of sugar. I'm quite certain I'm gonna need to add more later. I know that's a ton of sugar, but this is Agua de Sabor Mexicano. So we're gonna set this to boil, and I'm gonna, once it comes to a boil, I'm gonna have it boiling for about 15 minutes. So obviously I'm not gonna leave the video on that whole time. All right, now that we've boiled the tamarindo for 15 to 20 minutes, we're gonna take a potato masher or bean masher and mash this up as well as possible. Remember, there are seeds in this that we're gonna need to pull out. So you may wanna set this literally on the back burner and let it cool down before mashing it, or definitely before removing the seeds. I usually end up using my fingers a little bit for seed removal. So, yes. I like to get out a slotted spoon to remove the seeds. Some of the seeds are gonna come out looking like this, just like a peeled seed. Then you're also gonna get some of these type of things. I did wash my hands very well here. So with these, this is why you may want to let it cool a little bit. You can open it up and pull the seeds out. Some people pull the seeds out before they boil. I feel like that's a little difficult to do, so I always do it afterwards. I'm going to continue to pull the seeds out of the tamarindo, and I'll be back with you. All right, now that you've de-seeded your tamarindo, put the water, put all the pulp in your blender, and blend it up real well. Once your tamarindo is nice and blended, should be a little bit lighter color, you'll want to take a fine strainer and start straining it to get any extra big pieces of pulp out of there. This also takes a little while, so I'm going to go ahead and finish this. I always like to add a little more water to the blender to make sure we get everything out of there. You can run that through the strainer as well. You can see the pulp that I pulled out of the strainer. All right. Then add water until it gets to 2 liters. Remember, this is still warm, so it's going to taste so much better when it's cold. If you have a pitcher that has a mixer on there that's really good for tamarindo, because tamarindo tends to have like the fine pulp down at the bottom like this. So you can always mix it up if you have this type of pitcher. I'm gonna try this. I suspect it's gonna need more sugar. It's a little tart. That was with a 1/4 cup of sugar. I personally like it like that, and I know my husband's gonna like it like that too. So throw this in the fridge or put it over a glass of ice and enjoy. That's your agua de tamarindo. Now we're gonna make agua de Jamaica. Jamaica is hibiscus, and we use dried hibiscus flower to make this. You can make it either as a cold drink, which is most common in Mexico, or you can make it as a hot tea. So for this, we're gonna need your Jamaica, a pot to boil it in. I use a 1/2 cup measuring scoop for the Jamaica and a 1/4 cup for the sugar. So you're also gonna need your sugar, a strainer for later. This is for a 2-liter pitcher of Jamaica, and water. So first we're going to take our Jamaica, and you can really eyeball this. Whoops. I usually do a heaping, 1/2 cup of Jamaica, dried Jamaica. Put that in the pan. You definitely don't have to measure out the water. Just put in less than 2 liters. I'm guessing this is about 1 liter that I'm gonna put in. And I like to put the sugar in as I boil it because it tends to dissolve much faster. So I'm gonna put in a 1/4 cup, a little less. It's a shy 1/4 cup of white sugar. And we're gonna set that to boil for about 20 minutes. So I've boiled the Jamaica for about 20 minutes. I've also let it cool down. And now we're going to take the thin strainer and pour the Jamaica into the pitcher. Some people like to pour more water in here and make sure they get all of the flavor out of the Jamaica. I tend to not do that because sometimes there's some kind of sand stuff in there. So this is very concentrated, and I'm gonna fill up the rest of my pitcher with regular water. I don't think I have enough in here. Well, maybe I do. And then I'm gonna try it and see if it needs some more sugar. It's still kind of room temperature warmish right now. Tastes much better cold. And for me, this is the right amount of sugar. So I'm going to put the lid on it and throw it in the fridge. That's Jamaica, and that's my go-to when I don't have very much time to make a drink, because it's, well, when I don't have a lot of energy, I guess, to make a drink, because it's not very labor intensive like the Tamarindo was. So that's Jamaica.